course, to customize however you want. You've got other aspects such as registry name of the defense entity. So if the defense entity is a living entity, it will not automatically despawn. So I'm assuming this is like other mobs or such. The defense entity can have a revenge target, then the revenge target will be set to that player after they die. I assume this is supposed to be like something guarding your inventory, maybe? It's like, say, if I had I don't know, a skeleton or something defending it, I don't know, or whatever sort of defense entity aspect is, I'm really not sure. Let's see, does the forge one say a bit more detail? I think, defense, here we go, unlock items, players cannot interact with such and such, defense damage, unlock instead of consume. Let's see, configurable message, defense entities. When a chest is placed, a specified amount of defense entities will spawn on it. Living defense entities do not automatically despawn. So maybe it is a certain entity or mob or something that can protect them, I guess. That seems like the case to me, at least. Otherwise, you can present, obviously, how many times the unlocker should be consumed or damaged. The unlocker cannot be consumed damaged this many times, the death chest will not be unlocked. So I'm assuming this is regarding the player. Note that only the stack that the player is holding will be consumed, and that players in creative mode will not have their unlock item consumed. Okay, so this is for things like keys and other such, I assume, for opening it, or like special paper or something like that to then unlock it. So, yeah. And otherwise, you've got an unlocker metadata value, I assume. Other than that, you've got a message saying that, hey, you don't have the unlocking item, I assume, and it gives a fail message telling you, hey, you don't have this, which is following by default. You've got the defense entity MBT data, you've got the failed message and what that specifically is, so you need such and such of the following item to retrieve such and such. You've got the ability to set the defense entity max distance squared, so I assume that's as far as they'll move from the chest. Yeah, so it's still sort of tied to the chest, but obviously it's within a certain range that it will go as far out to. Otherwise, you can set whether the defense entities drop items themselves, and whether or not they drop experience, whether or not they have a cost consumption. Whether the unlocker should be damaged rather than consumed. Whoops. So I assume if you wanted, say, a key or a piece of paper or something to have durability, so you can unlock them multiple times, and if you don't have any others, then obviously you can't unlock it after 3 or however many uses you give it. Actually no, that's just true or false of it being possible. And then there's the defense entities spawn count, which is obviously the number of entities to spawn around your chest to protect it, I guess. You've got the registry name of the unlocker, so this would be what actual item you set. So the blacklist is obviously air because you can't use an air block. But obviously if you want to set something then you can, but by default, as you saw, obviously I can just take this out, no problem, and it'll just give it to me. Whilst if I didn't have a piece of paper or whatever type of key unlocking item, then obviously I can't open the chest. Other than that, you've got the max distance squared that an entity can be from the player if it is too far from its chest. So that's also a possibility besides just the chest itself. It's also possible to consider it for the player. You've got whether or not players in creative mode should be able to bypass death chest protection. So there's that, I guess, for creative mode aspects. Let's see, which I don't actually haven't tried yet, so just do that. So we'll do this in creative, and then also access the chest in creative. Let's see, so is that going to change anything? Okay, so not really by default. So, but yeah, so if creative mode players can do that, obviously it's possible. I assume maybe it's not just mattering about admins, it's that it's just anyone that's in creative can access it, I guess. And there's a permission level for the chest, which I assume maybe reflects just I guess that's chest protection. I was thinking OP level, I guess. Actually, yeah, it might be it. So, yeah, OP level to bypass chest protection. So obviously I'm in single player, so it's not going to affect me, but I assume OP level 3 is required to then obviously open the chest, but if you're not, then yeah. And this is obviously assumed for people that aren't the one that took damage and has the unlocker. And I don't think it grants the unlocker, does it? I don't know about spawning the unlocker on death, maybe, possibly. Let's see, the amount of time and ticks death chest protection should last, so it is limited to the following period of time. You can extend it or lower it as much as you want. You can have it set where death chest should be protected, so you set to that, then death chest can only be broken by their owners. So, there we go. So some security there. Otherwise, you've got miscellaneous certain stuff, so options that fit into other categories, such as obviously whether death chests should be dropped when broken, which is set to false. So enable this for infinite chests. The name of disabled chests game rule, so you can set what the game rule is called, I guess, which is interesting. So there is a command for that, obviously. Game rule command. Otherwise, you can set whether death chests should disappear when they are emptied, which obviously is set by default, but if you don't want that to be the case, and so you want to pick up the chest maybe, or you just want to keep them there to know where your prior deaths were, for example, then you can do that. Otherwise, though, the final one is whether or not you can enable the VanillaDeathChest reload command. So I assume that's for like reloading the mod or reloading certain other aspects. So we've got the following here, which is just for so for reloading the config, yep, and the other was which? Game rule. So slash game rule. What was it again? Let's see. Disable death chests. And there's that option there. So enabling disabling aspects there. Thanks so much for watching though, and goodbye.